चातुर्वर्ण्यं मया सृष्टं गुणकर्मविभागशः तस्य कर्तारमपि मां विद्यकर्तारमव्ययम्.
The fourfold Varna caste was created by me based on the differentiation of guna, quality, and action, karma. Even though I am its creator, know me as the non-doer, akartaram, and indestructible, avyayam. So, in verse 12 he says, I promote extroverted external activities. I means Atman, Brahman. Now he says, the internal personality, the internal makeup is also what I have created. How does this happen? You consist of, all human beings, or the world consists of two factors, spirit, matter. Spirit is one, indivisible, equal in all living beings everywhere. Matter is what is different. This matter, and this is Vedanta's most important contribution to the understanding of the human psyche. Matter consists of three distinct textures, thought textures, types, gunas. Guna literally means quality. Guna literally means rope which binds you. These three are Sattva, purity, Rajas, activity, and Tamas, apathy. All human beings have all three qualities. Sattva, sublime, pure, free from desire and selfishness, free from ego. This is what lends purity to a person. And when you are free from desire, your mind automatically soars to the higher, transcendental. You are contemplative on the higher. The moment desires start gurgling within you, you are in the realm of Rajas. Rajas literally means passion. You have a passion for all sorts of things. And that drives you to activity, desire, passion. Relentless pursuit of objects of desire. You are never left alone, so you are caught on a non-stop treadmill which goes faster and faster. Faster because your desires are building up until you collapse. Doesn't let go of you. And so along with this passion and activity is the attendant mental stress, agitation. Impure because of selfishness. Tamas, apathy, ignorance. In tamas, you are ignorant of even worldly things. So therefore, you find contentment in sleep, literally sleep, or sleepwalking. You are asleep to your potential, you are asleep to the wonderful qualities that you have, you are asleep to your to what is possible, the possibilities in life, you are asleep to your mission in life. This is tamas. Tamas is most difficult to get rid of. You see, it's like in your mouth. When you have plaque deposited, you can't remove it. What must you do? Go to a dentist. And the dentist also has to work very hard to remove it. If there's a dentist in this audience, they'll know. Rajas is like a fiber stuck between your teeth. You don't need to go to a dentist for that, but you need to put in effort. So that effort is to isolate that fiber and remove it. As long as that one little minuscule piece of fiber is there stuck between your teeth, you are uncomfortable. You can't rest content until you get rid of that. If you have something stuck in your mouth, you're constantly doing this, you're distracted. Rajas is like that, desires. You're ill at ease, you're discontent, you're restless. Sattva is like water in your mouth. Although it is a foreign object, it's not part of your system, you don't feel it. And the Gita gives various similes for these three. But now, these masters who identified these three distinct and different gunas also understood how they combine in different individuals. And according to this combination, divided humanity, not just Indians. All of humanity can be divided into these 4 varnas or castes. Now, this caste system has got a very bad name because it was horribly misunderstood, deliberately distorted, and therefore it became a curse instead of a blessing. But the original caste system was a huge blessing. So, the 4 castes, as you all know, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. So, Brahmanas were predominantly sattvic people. They were the visionaries, they were intellectuals, they were unselfish people, people who had the capability and the intention of doing good to society. They were long-term thinkers. And so, all this was because of the predominance of sattva. They had a little bit of rajas and traces of tamas. In every society, it is the brahmanas, the Brahmins, that keep society going, that keep the values going. President Obama was elected president the first time. There was a journalist in the New York Times who wrote that Obama was looking for Brahmins. Brahmins doesn't mean he was looking for Iyer and Iyengar, South Indian Brahmins. What was he looking for? Intellectuals. Intellectuals who could help him run the country wisely. It is the wisdom that is important. And it goes to the wisdom of our forefathers, that they placed the Brahmanas as leaders of society. So India was led by men and women of wisdom, not wealth. The moment you have wealthy people ruling, the decline starts. Because then everything is sacrificed at the altar of wealth. And wealth has a highly corrosive effect. So then, Kshatriyas, downfall. Kshatriyas were predominantly Rajasic. So they were dynamic, active, administrators, rulers. They had the capability to act and govern and keep society together. So they were the rulers, the rajas, the kings. Sattva dropped. They had a fair amount of sattva, and tamas crept up. But what saved them was, in the past, every wealthy person, every king had an in-house sage, a brahmana, whom he consulted at every important juncture. This saved them from the corrosive effect of wealth. Then came the Vaishyas. Sattva dropped still further. Rajas maintained, tamas increased. These were the business class, the traders. And then came the Shudras, who were predominantly tamasic, who had a little bit of rajas and traces of sattva. Now, once they identified, this distinction was not based on birth. In other words, you were not a Brahmana because you happened to be the son or daughter of Brahmanas. You were a Brahmana only if you were predominantly sattvic. So it didn't follow in the family thing. And so each one had the opportunity to match their guna mix, their inner personality, with the action that they were performing. This is extremely important. People have distinct gunas, qualities, and they do the respective karma action. Even now you see it. You go to a university anywhere in the world, you see professors, particularly the top universities of the world, the professors have a different outlook in life. They are intellectual, they can't think money. Then you come to politicians, industrialists, people who govern the large numbers of people. They have administrative skills. They are active, dynamic. They have this lordliness, as they call it. Then you come to traders. There are people who can make money or make profit out of any situation. Commendable. And then there are Shudras, who, because they don't have, you see, nature always compensates somewhere or the other. They don't have the emotional strength or the intellectual clarity, but they have other talents. They can do things with their fingers. So these were people who contributed to society, and in those days there was great value given to craftsmen. What fantastic art and craft you see in this country, traditional. So what happened was, each person was prescribed the action that matched with his or her guna, and through it, the individual was encouraged to grow spiritually so that they reach the highest level of sattva. This we don't understand. And so we denounce the very caste system, which was the tool for self-development, for development of all individuals, irrespective of their guna mix. Brahmanas, intellectuals, are always in a minority in any society. You know, where there is high quality, quantity must be low. And then as you go down, the numbers increase. So, now what he's saying is, consciousness, pure consciousness, Atman, Brahman, supports all this. Supports the three gunas, supports the combination of three gunas, supports how this manifests as action, and is responsible, even though I am its creator. Just as the ocean is responsible for the waves, gold is responsible for all ornaments. But know me as the non-doer, akartara, against the backdrop of Atman, Brahman. All this comes into play. Atman has nothing to do with the guna mix in you. Atman simply places the rules, the laws in place. Thereafter, it functions. So, I am its creator, know me as the non-doer. So, how do the two go together? On the one hand, he's saying, I am the doer, karta. And on the other hand, he's saying, I am akartara. So, let's take an example. When you take a flight from here to London, Bombay, London, with reference to the ground, you are traveling at a frenetic pace, 500 miles an hour. But within the plane, you could be sleeping. So with reference to the ground, you are moving. With reference to the plane, you are unmoving. So the two go together. Similarly, with reference to the body, mind and intellect, Atman is the karta. But by itself, akartara. Why? Because there is no creation to begin with. And I am avyayam. You make anything out of gold, gold doesn't perish. Gold doesn't become any the less. Because whatever you make out of gold, gold is still there. Similarly, Atman is imperishable. So why does he use conflicting terms? Though I am the karta, I am the akartaram. Because he has to use these conflicting opposite terms, because Atman is beyond the periphery of the intellect, beyond the scope of the intellect. If he were to give only one, you'd capture it and say, oh, I've got it. No, you haven't. So he gives opposites, so that you think. And when you think, your intellect expands. That's the purpose.